5 news stories from the crypto industry. First, news. Investments in Toncoin become profitable again. Investments in the cryptocurrency Toncoin, issued on the open network, have once again become profitable due to the recent price increase of the coin. At the beginning of September, the MVRV indicator, calculated by dividing the market capitalization of the asset by the realized capitalization level, dropped to -18%. This means that Toncoin buyers had an unrealized loss of 18%. However, MVRV began to rise, reaching 6.2% on September 14, meaning coin holders now have an unrealized profit of 6.2%. People who invested in Toncoin started experiencing losses due to a 35% drop in the cryptocurrency's price following the arrest of Pavel Durov in France. However, the creator of the Telegram messenger was released on bail, and Ton's price began to recover. Since September 6, the coin's value has increased by 32%, and it is currently priced at $5.69. However, it is still too early to talk about a market reversal for Toncoin. The bearish trendline, which began in mid-June, currently runs at the $6.67 mark. Given the asset's price dynamics, it is expected that Ton's price will increase by nearly 13% from its current level, reaching $6.38. Then, bears are expected to take over, pushing the coin's price downward again. Second, news. In the US, 12 people receive a total of 204 years in prison for armed crypto robberies. In the US, a group of 12 criminals was convicted of a series of home invasions and numerous robberies. The main target of the criminals was the victims' crypto wallets, which they gained access to by holding their victims at gunpoint. According to the US Department of Justice, the group was led by 25-year-old Remy R. St. Felix from West Palm Beach, Florida. The robbers operated in several regions of the US, using encrypted messengers to communicate and plan their operations. The criminals employed SIM card swaps to gain control over their victims' phone numbers. After that, they would enter homes, tie up the victims with plastic zip ties, and torture them to force the transfer of all crypto assets. To pressure the account owners into cooperating, the group often threatened their family members, using violence and intimidation. The conspirators laundered funds through privacy-enhanced cryptocurrencies, as well as instant exchanges and decentralized financial platforms that did not conduct proper customer checks, the U.S. Department of Justice stated. As a result of their activities, the criminals managed to seize assets worth more than $3.5 million. The gang leader received 47 years in prison for leading the group, robbery, and other crimes. Another key participant and co-author of the scheme, Jared Gabriel Simungal, was sentenced to 20 years in prison. Other members of the gang received sentences ranging from 6 to 25 years, with the final defendant's sentencing scheduled for October 1, 2024. Additionally, all members of the criminal group must compensate for the damages, with payments ranging from $355,800 to $4 million. Third, news. Brazil's Attorney General urges dismissal of lawsuits against the ban on the X platform. Brazil's Attorney General, Paulo Gonet Branco, supported the blocking of the X social network in the country, according to local media reports. In his view, the decision by Judge Alexander de Moraes is entirely legal and cannot be challenged. Representatives of Brazil's Attorney General's office called on the Supreme Court to reject lawsuits related to attempts to unblock the platform. The agency believes that the ban on X's activities and the imposition of fines for using the social network do not violate freedom of speech rights. Furthermore, the PGR, Attorney General's office, stated that the legal mechanism used in the appeals cannot be applied to challenge Supreme Court rulings. According to the Attorney General, it is impossible to demand non-compliance with fundamental provisions regarding the STF, Federal Supreme Court, rulings. When the Federal Supreme Court expresses its opinion through any of its bodies, this decision is considered the result of the court's deliberation. That's why similar-level complaints in such cases are inadmissible, Branco said. It is worth noting that in late August 2024, the court ordered the suspension of the X social network, owned by tech mogul Elon Musk. The ruling is related to the platform's refusal to block certain accounts and the closure of the company's office in the country. Brazil's Bar Association and the political party Partido Novo have appealed the decision to close the social network. According to available information, the judge reviewing the appeals, Marques Nunes, will transfer the case to a plenary session only after the country's municipal elections, scheduled for October. In addition to legal proceedings, the suspension of X's activities has sparked active discussions in the Brazilian Congress. Some lawmakers consider Moraes' decision an attack on freedom of speech. Other congressional representatives pointed to a lack of transparency in account-blocking decisions on the platform and noted the selective approach taken by the platform's management. Elon Musk called the suspension of X in Brazil an attack on the freedoms of Brazilians and an attempt by authorities to ban the main source of truthful information. Fourth news. Solana could return to $160. Solana's price fluctuates between $124 and $186 and has been in a phase of macro consolidation for a long time. The key resistance level of $160 is critical for Solana's future dynamics. Although some indicators predict possible growth, the momentum may not be strong enough to push the altcoin above this level. Broad market signals are favorable for Solana. Market sentiment surrounding Solana is currently bullish, the Bollinger Bands are narrowing, which often signals potential price growth, and the positioning of candles above the Bollinger Band's baseline indicates an increasing upward momentum for Solana. Moreover, trading volume remains low, which typically precedes large price movements. This combination of factors suggests that Solana may soon show growth, approaching $160. Meanwhile, the moving average convergence-divergence indicator shows an increasing gap between the MACD line and the signal line after a recent bullish crossover. Given that Solana is now testing key resistance levels, the MACD hints at a possible uptrend in the coming days. The price of Solana is trying to consolidate above the $136 mark. If successful, this could push Solana toward growth in the direction of the critical $160 resistance level. However, at this stage, the price increase may slow down, in which case, Solana will continue consolidating within the given range. If the breakout attempt fails and the $136 level is lost, Solana risks falling to $124. This would call into question the current optimistic forecast and require investors to exercise caution when trading Solana. Fifth news. Bitcoin's growth pushes the Fear and Greed Index into neutral territory. The cryptocurrency market's Fear and Greed Index moved into a neutral position, moving away from the extreme fear seen earlier. The index now stands at 50, compared to yesterday's 32, which indicated fear, and 23 last week, which reflected extreme fear. This improvement occurred as Bitcoin approached the $60,000 mark, reaching a daily peak of $60,656. The last time Bitcoin was in the $60,000 range was on August 28, or 3 weeks ago. During this period, Bitcoin's price dropped to $52,598 on September 6, contributing to extreme fear in the market in recent weeks. Since that low, Bitcoin has risen by 15.31%, helping improve market sentiment. Additionally, Bitcoin's recovery has had a moderate effect on the altcoin market, with several top 10 altcoins, including Solana, showing modest gains of around 3% over the past 24 hours. Bitcoin's positive dynamics were influenced by a $263.2 million inflow into U.S. spot Bitcoin ETFs on September 13. Prominent BTC advocate and MicroStrategy chairman Michael Saylor made a major purchase of 18,300 BTC, worth over $1.1 billion. U.S. inflation data released this week showed that the consumer price index in August stood at 2.5%, matching expectations and increasing the likelihood of a 25 basis point rate cut to 85%.